Hello and welcome to the SmartDispense Energy Well Spent debate series. It's great to have you here. My name's James Woodman. I'm the marketing manager for SmartDispense. And today in the studio we have Johnny Lockett, who's the founder of Blue and Yellow Consultancy. We also have Paul and Sarah Bird from the Camelot in South Cadbury, who is also the GBPA Sustainability Pub finalist for this year. And online, hello, welcome, Hamish Stoddard, the co-founder and MD of Peach Pubs. Great to have you on board. First of all, Hamish, will come to you to introduce yourself, who you are, and what sustainability means to you.
Hi, I'm the founder and MD of Peach, which is 21 fantastic gastropubs situated around the south of England, and we've always been into sustainability, and we carry on looking for ways to improve.
Thank you. Johnny, I'll come to you to introduce yourself.
Thanks, James. I'm Johnny Lockett. I'm the founder of Blue and Yellow. We're a small sustainability consultancy working predominantly in the hospitality industry. It's an industry I love. It's an industry I feel is a great vehicle for sustainability and driving the agenda forward. And yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to be here and talk a bit about that.
And Sarah and Paul.
Hi, my name is Paul Bird and I run the Camelot pub in South Cadbury with Sarah.
And I run the kitchen side of things, and sustainability is just such a passion to us and has been part of our whole ethos and the journey since we opened the pub back in February.
You've been in your pub since February this year and made some phenomenal changes within your establishment. So can you just talk a bit about how you've gone about that and what your customers are saying?
So I think the start of our journey is a huge learning curve for us. Just walking into our pub on our first day and looking at every individual area, every little individual process, and analyse it and work out ways in which we could streamline processes, streamline suppliers, and create a really effective pub that reduced waste and was as sustainable as possible.
With that then, you talk about suppliers and having to take them on the journey with you. Did you find they were compliant to it, or were they sort of actually quite resonant to helping you make the change?
I think one of our key things was we actually went to suppliers who were recognised and local, because it was very important for us from the outset to have that honesty and integrity, to be able to contact locals and say, this is what we want. We want the local potatoes, we want local cheese, we want local ciders, we want local fruit and veg.
Okay, Hamish, we'll come across to you. Can you tell us the journey that Peach Pub Company has been on with regards to sustainability?
We work really hard on the menus, we always have, to get the right type of supplier, the right type of provenance in meat and fish and vegetables, but we can't be local. It's you know, as soon as you get to our sort of size, doing locality is really hard. And actually we chose at the very beginning to say best of British if we can, best of European, don't fly stuff. So it's a less local solution, but it is fantastic produce. We get the beef from the right areas of Britain, and the fish from the right ports and all of that sort of stuff. And we've always done that. And over the years, what happens if you do it for year on year on year is you end up refining and getting better and better at what you can do sustainably and profitably. And so we now have a brilliant set of suppliers and solutions in terms of the menu. In terms of the building, we're trying really hard. I mean, I think it is really hard to get power right in an old building. We have lots of thatched buildings with planning restrictions on windows and all sorts of things. They are just old. And so working our way through all the cooling of the cellars, the cooking of the food and the heating of the buildings is quite a challenge still.
Johnny, it's come to you because obviously you've got two extremes. You've got, Sarah and Paul got individual pub, and you've got Hamish who's got a good selection of establishments. How do you come in to all this, and how can you help both parties?
I think what you've got are two examples of doing the right thing. You've got great intentions, and I think that's a huge part of it. you've got the challenges and talking about them openly, which Hamish does. You've got engagement. Sarah and Paul were just telling me about how they're engaging their local community and trying to, bring new themes to the local community that haven't been there before. And I think when you put it all together, they're actually doing the same thing. You're looking into the problem and you're talking about the challenges you face, and you're talking about the potential solutions, and they're all very much the same at whichever scale. It's where your food comes from, it's how it's grown, the buildings. I don't envy Hamish's challenge with all of those different sites that he's operating, those different pubs he's operating. But you have to investigate, you have to measure, you have to look at these things and find out where the problems are, and then try and act on them, really.
Where's a great place to start? Within this, it's obviously the list can go on for 5, 7, 8 pages long. I mean, where do you start? How to get someone on this journey?
You start by, I think, just having that, I suppose, desire. That definitely helps to have that passion behind it. And that can come from a number of angles. It might come from, owners. It might come from customers. It might come from your staff. It could come from your shareholders, seeing that more and more now. And then it's about asking, well, what can we do with the knowledge that we've got right now, or the capabilities that we've got right now to be able to start on this journey? There's some really easy things that you can do, certainly your waste and circularity. You can look at perhaps the efficiency of the building and your energy usage quite early on. Buying renewable energy is definitely one of the number one things you can start with. And then as you've gone through that, getting into perhaps some of the more complicated topics like your food sourcing, and really challenging yourself about the product that you put out and how it's constructed. But certainly from the start, you can go after some really easy things that engage the team and actually help the business.
I think talking about team in an outlet is phenomenally important. How have you brought it to life at the Camelot with your staff right the way through from front to back?
Our back end of staff, so our youngsters are really key to us. All of our staff, in fact, come from our village, or certainly from within 7 miles of our village. So it's not just been about engaging them, but actually even their parents. Everything from them cycling into work and us ensuring that they get home safely at night. And that sustainability in itself, everybody really is embracing what we've got. And I think lots of communication. We're only a small pub. We've got 18 staff in total, but lots of ongoing communication, welcoming at the beginning of the day, saying thank you at the end of the day, and just getting their constant feedback. What are customers thinking? What are customers saying about us? Because that makes the staff feel important too.
And again, Hamish, from your side, obviously, so the capability and staff training within the whole sustainability platform must be quite a key part for you as well.
The biggest thing, we started a little group in the middle about 4 years ago called the Bigger Peach Team. And we started working on all the things you could do out of the pub. But the biggest thing we did this year is we added to our values, we love our planet, we strive to love our planet. And we started saying to the team, you can't come and join Peach unless you're willing to be that way. And then we now have a planet hero per pub. And I do Teams or face-to-face coaching and sort of team engagement every month with this gang. And it's a challenge, actually, because in our type of group, the GMs are really responsible for profit. Some of them love the value, striving to love our planet. Some of them less so. And so the engagement has got to come relatively slowly. You can't bully it in. Much as my passion comes across in everything I do, I don't think it's possible to make 600-700 people just move. So we're in a bit of a slow burn. The Planet Heroes, they decided, we gave them lots of options. They did some really cool stuff. We now offer all our coffee grounds out to the guests so that they can use it to deal with the slugs and whatever in their gardens. So the food waste is not now including coffee grounds. And that was a team idea. The next thing that I'm really chuffed about is they all said we could change how we're going to do the bars. We want to get rid of single-use plastic and paper on the bar. Let's all the Planet Heroes made it their own mission. Some of them weren't bar people, so they were waitresses or whatever. None of them were GMs, and they all went in and tried to encourage every bar team to work out how to do no single-use plastics. And as a result, we've got to no single-use plastics, and then no single-use paper, except when the dreaded blue roll comes out when we're in utter crisis. But not every moment. If you can get the team to think for themselves, that's what makes the difference. You can explain the goal, but you can't actually do it in a pub unless they're really excited and engaged.
Oh, it's great. I think, you say you have a number of challenges. I think overall, the fact that they're engaged and they want to be part of it is definitely one of the key themes I'm picking up from what you both have been saying.
The other thing is going for awards, making them believe you're good, giving yourself a challenge to go out and say I'm good has been really important in Peach. We just won the Publican Sustainability Awards, but that whole thing was a team effort. It wasn't, and making sure people inside they believe you're one of the leaders. At the moment, I think you can retain more staff, more team, have them longer, and have them enjoying it more because you go for it.
Yeah, and again, the piece for me then is about communication outwards. So that whole consumer piece, talking to them and letting them know what you're doing and how you're doing it is a huge part of that journey. So again, how are you guys starting to do that and talk to consumers and tell them what you're doing?
One of the things we've found is actually that the staff feel proud to take the stuff out.
Okay.
We've changed how we serve our Sunday lunches, for example. We've changed how we deliver the tapas or the charcuterie. And they pick it up and they love it. And you have the people on the pass and it's an art form.
It's love.
And they do it with love. And that's something amazing, really. It's not just on a plate, it's actually their creation that someone else is taking out to give to a customer. When we're out with the customers, it's talking to them because we have lots of locals, so we actually we speak with them a lot. You're actually explaining to people what we're doing and telling them that we're trying to save the food waste, we're trying to do it sustainably. They love it. The local produce, it's if you walk up the field up that way and hang a right, you'll find the local cider farm. That's where it comes from.
And then, Johnny, from your point of view, how are you helping companies to allow them to talk and get their message out? What sort of tips and hints are you giving them?
I think it's one of the most important parts. So one of my clients at the moment, we are building a full strategy with them. And it's really, I suppose, easy for me to sit there and go, you have to say this, you have to do that. These are the important topics, but it can be so far off brand that you need to work with the partner to make sure that everything that is being said is said in the way that they present themselves to the outside world. I think it's a really important way to bring what is some often quite intimidating and complicated topic to people that are actually engaging with a brand in a particular way. So one of my clients, super fun, like everybody really enjoys going there. The experience is really casual. The food is amazing. And their social media is really, really vibrant. If I was going to come in with, the bore and the standardized approaches and really droll and boring topics, you're going to end up with something that doesn't engage, doesn't interact with their customers. They have to lead that. There has to be as much personality in there. Yes, saying the right things, but in the right way.
And again, Hamish, from your side, is it something you leave to the outlets to do, or do you do much more from a centre-out communication plan to consumers?
The only study I've done that really has made a real difference to me is to work out for a whole day how many people are genuinely excited about this stuff, sustainability. As an enthusiast, you think everyone is, but that's not true. About 20% in our pubs are mad enthusiasts. About 60-70% want you to be doing something, but they're not really. And then about 20% say, honestly, shut up, I'd rather have it cheaper, or I'd rather, I don't believe in the planet warming. And so what we've decided to do is not preach. Present on menus. We'll have things that talk sustainability on drinks lists. We'll have things that we've now introduced a butterfly against all our wines that have genuine sustainability enthusiasts wine making the wine, etc., and drinks the same. So we're cleverly presenting all the time. Any place you touch in Peach in a pub, you'll see a sustainability message, but it's not preachy. It's not aggressive, because not a lot of people just want a great steak and a glass of red wine, that and a chat with their mate. It's not. So we are all the time on it, and everywhere you touch, you can feel it, but we're not aggressive with it.
I completely agree with that, because I think the benefit of a great business in hospitality that's also got an eye on sustainability is you can have a great experience and one that is arguably better for society and the planet as a whole. And I think that's why I say hospitality is a really great vehicle for bringing sustainability to the masses, because if we lead, others will benefit. We serve, as an industry, millions of people, billions of people on an annual basis, and we get to be the ones to help them on their journey.
I love stories, I love storytelling. And coming from actually a marketing background many years ago, one of the things that we wanted to do was be able to communicate sustainability in a fun way to our customer base, and also raise our analytics, so raise our presence on Facebook and Instagram. So what we do is we create stories. So one of the first stories that we ran back in March time was, we're looking for a way in which we can reuse our vegetable scraps. Anybody got any idea? Does anybody have any guinea pigs locally? Well, this post was shared 17 times. So it raised us in our analytics. So actually, we were using it as a marketing tool. We were using it to speak to our people. So then we found a local guinea pig rescue lady who came from 4 doors away. It's little stories like that that you send out to people, you get engagement, and now she feels she's part of the pub. She can come in. Hello, it's Hannah. I'm just popping in for my guinea pig scraps, and while I'm here, I'm just going to have a gin. It's about making that communication part of your brand and using sustainability to make that communication.
Again, from you, Hamish, any sort of ways in which you're utilising your sustainability message in over social in a different way to engage your consumers?
I mean, we do lots of stuff as a new thing comes in. So our tomato, I don't know whether people have found the tomato sauce called Ruby's. It is very low waste and very low water, no sugar. It's a brilliant product, and it's we're not reusing we're not wasting bottles and stuff. There's all sorts of stories going on, and they're always positive.
That's great to hear. Just before we sort of wrap up, I think it'd be great to understand, from all of you, the sort of top 3 things. If a pub's looking to start their journey, where do you start? How do you do it?
Okay, so I'll talk about it from the kitchen side, because that's my area of expertise. And I would say, look at the little things, look at those little processes and little procedures, and I'll give you just a very quick story about how we saved £9,000. So when we first moved into our kitchen, we were using pea shoots. And I was watching a member of staff putting handfuls of pea shoots on top of everything on the path. And I was thinking, good grief, I know this, I've grown peas. I know how difficult it is and how expensive it is to serve peas. And so it equated to 25p per serving that we were spending on pea shoots. Those pea shoots were therefore coming back into the kitchen, 90% of them were coming back through. So at 25p, times 50 covers a day, not using pea shoots but switching out for a different salad, we've saved our business £9,000. That's half a KP. I don't know if it's the top half or the bottom half, but £9,000 in 1 minute's moment of inspiration. Sustainability to so many people means, oh gosh, I've got to spend money. I've got to think about this. I can't think about this. But just look at the small elements, because not only are you saving the planet, but actually you're saving bottom line profit. You're reducing waste.
as Sarah says, it's the small things, but it's looking around you and just seeing what there is for you, because everybody's sustainability journey is different. You know, we all work in different environments, different customers, different buildings. You know, everything is different. So you have to look around you and understand what you can do, really. And you know, even to the point where we're lucky enough to have a flat roof, so we can now gather the water from the flat roof and put it through our toilets. It's going to save us a fortune. But also it's very sustainable. It's lovely. Yeah, it's a lovely thing to be doing, you know. And that's the other thing about it, is it feels good to do it.
I think this is a great example of looking at a problem. You don't have to measure it with some complicated process. You look at it and you see that there's a problem there, you're observing it, you're going to target the solution, which is to replace it, and then you're actually going to act on that. Those are simple things that people can do on an everyday basis, and they tend to lead to either cost savings or certainly a lower impact.
Fantastic. And Hamish, over to you.
The best thing we did to start out is join two organisations, the SRA, the Sustainable Restaurant Association, who have a structure about sustainability that taught me how to think about this in a constructive way. And then we shared that with the team, and suddenly the ideas started flowing because people really understood what good sustainability looks like. And we also, from that, we joined a bunch on net zero called Net Zero Now. And that measurement that we've talked about, Johnny was talking about a moment ago, is so key in doing some of the net zero stuff right. You can make mistakes just assuming. And so we were able then to target ourselves with a sort of steady reduction and talk with the team about getting to net zero through offsetting. And that's our big plan, is to find good projects where we're actually doing good in the world.
Fantastic. Well, from me personally, thank you all for coming on to the debate series. Thank you for your time and your input. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.